Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Wesam Lootah. I'm the CEO of Smart Dubai Government. Smart Dubai Government is the technology arm of Smart Dubai. Smart Dubai is the entity that is charged with the mandate to digitally transform the city with the vision of making Dubai the happiest city on earth. Today, it's my pleasure today to actually present to you the Dubai blockchain strategy. And I will start by making this claim. The claim is that the technology that is going to have the greatest impact on your industry has actually already arrived. And that's regardless of what industry you're in. And it's not the internet, it's not social media, it's not mobile phones, it's not big data. It is blockchain, exactly. Let's do that again. It is blockchain. Good, now you're awake. Very good. So as the previous speaker mentioned, blockchain is not Bitcoin. It's much bigger than Bitcoin. Yes, it is the technology that started as the sort of the back end of cryptocurrencies. And it is, its initial place was in the financial sector where we've seen most of the traction. But now blockchain is expanding across all sectors. It is said that blockchain will do to transactions what the internet has done to information. And that's a very big claim. What I want to do over the next just couple of minutes is to give a bit of an introduction of what blockchain does and where its value is coming from. So if we compare this blockchain to the internet is what the internet has done to information is made it very seamless, safe, and efficient to transfer information. So today, anyone equipped with a data package and a smartphone can have access to vast amount of information. And with this kind of access, you also can create content and share it with the world. Compare this with 40, 50 years ago, when in this region, people were still sending information using the normal post. So it's vastly improved. Today, I can send an email to 100,000 people just in 1 second. And this is the kind of impact that the blockchain is expected to have on transactions. So let me say that again. The blockchain is expected to make the transfer of value seamless, efficient, and safe. So blockchain will allow the transfer of value. Assets such as money, real estate, stocks, shares, whatever you name it, blockchain is going to have that impact. It's going to allow for the safe, efficient, and seamless transfer of value. And let me explain this. When it comes to the internet, I can easily send an email to my friend here, Mohammed, and what will happen actually there is that a copy of this email with my holiday pictures will go to him, and I will actually keep a copy of that. I will have the original, he will get a copy of this. And this is perfectly okay. And I can send this over and over again, and I keep my original content. This is absolutely fine when it comes to exchange of information. But let's take the example of exchange of value. If I want to send $1,000 to my friend here, Tom, he wants to make sure that I don't still have that $100 and I can send it to Muhammad. That is fundamentally the core of what blockchain does. Blockchain allows for solving this problem, which is called the double spend problem. I would be able to send money only to one person. The transfer of value would only happen, and I would not keep a copy of this. This has typically been solved through third-party trust. So today, banks, credit card companies, they provide the trust in the system. What blockchain has done is actually solve this problem in a completely decentralized way. So with this, you'll be able to transfer any kind of value with intellectual properties, as I mentioned, money, digital assets. And this is set to have a huge impact on the way we do business. And the world has been taking note of this. We've seen huge adoption of blockchain. Experts are predicting that the value of blockchain will reach hundreds of millions of dollars, actually billions of dollars by 2019. And we're seeing mushrooming of startups, and many of them here in this conference. Over 600 startups alone in the last 2 years have been established, completely focused on blockchain and blockchain solutions and how to take advantage of this technology across all sectors. And there's obviously a lot of investment, both from the public sector and the private sector. And we are also seeing many leading governments take note and start to experiment with blockchain. So countries like the US and state of Delaware, Singapore, Sweden, Ghana, they are trying to put their real estate assets on blockchain. However, in these cases, these are very small pilots, very contained, risk-controlled pilots. It's a very different approach than Dubai's stance when it comes to blockchain. So we've chosen to take a very different approach. Back in October of 2016, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum announced, obviously the Crown Prince of Dubai and the chairman of the executive office, announced that Dubai will be the first city fully powered by blockchain. We will apply blockchain to all applicable services within the government sector. This announcement was made at a time when really there has not been any significant implementations in production in blockchain at that time. And most of the software vendors did not have even their first initial versions of the software. This kind of a bold, ambitious stance when it comes to this technology comes from our belief that we don't lead from the sidelines. We lead from the front. When it comes to the future of our city, we believe in creating that future, not waiting for it to happen. And His Highness Sheikh Mohammed has asked us actually a few months back to create today what others will do in 10 years. And we've been busily working on materializing this vision, this very ambitious and bold vision. We've set a very structured and very clear strategy when it comes to blockchain. It has 3 main pillars. The first pillar is government efficiency, how we can apply blockchain to all applicable services within the government. The second pillar is around ecosystem creation. How do we attract the right talents, the startups, the developers, engage academia, and create the ecosystem that would allow us to achieve this vision. And the third pillar is around international leadership, how we can take blockchain beyond borders. These are the 3 main pillars when it comes to our strategy in blockchain. And if you have spent any time in Dubai, you know that we know how to execute. We make promises, but we know how to execute. If you spend any time, you will have noticed the progress that Dubai has had. And when it comes to government efficiency, this is not something that's new to us. Arguably, Dubai has the most efficient government, especially in the use of technology. And at Smart Dubai, we've been doing this for over 15 years. For every 1 dirham we spent in technology for the government and shared services, we save 5 dirhams for the city. So we know how to do this. And we started by looking at the customer. So we did not start by looking, okay, this is the technology, okay, great, let's just implement blockchain. It's very important when you apply this technology is you start from the customer perspective. So we've looked at all government services. We have a complete database of city experiences and government services. This was our first step. And we have created a framework to evaluate what are the most highest priority services and city experiences where blockchain can be applied. If it's a service that's only executed within one entity, obviously it doesn't make sense. So one thing that you need to understand, blockchain is not a silver bullet. It doesn't apply everywhere. Obviously, there are certain cases where blockchain can really transform the service. And this is where we have multiple parties that are involved. Trust is going to be important. Security is critical. Transparency is needed. All of these kind of checkpoints, if they are checked, this is the kind of case that is applicable. And this is where we've been working with over 20 of government entities, and we have come up with over 17 use cases that are now being piloted by entities such as the Dubai Economic Development, Dubai Land, that announced back in just a few weeks back the first implementation of blockchain in production in real estate. And what we are hoping to do is that throughout 2017, the remainder of 2017, that we complete these pilots to have the full production implementations in the beginning of Q1 of 2018. And as I mentioned, we've had many use cases in real estate, in education. KHDA is working with one of the startups are actually here in the audience, and many, many others. And I want to give you an example of the kind of transformation that we are looking at when using blockchain. So let's take an example of a real case, how to actually apply blockchain. And this case is about buying or renting a property. If you have gone through this experience here in Dubai, and I would say it's quite, advanced still, but still it's not the optimal experience that you would have. If you want to buy a property in Dubai, you probably would need up to 5 different signatures, visiting your broker, visiting the banks to get a mortgage, or the developer, applying to register your property in Dubai land. Every time you would have to identify yourself, you'd have to provide documents and proofs, and the process would typically, on average, take a few days and maybe even weeks. But let's imagine this process if we transform it with technology such as blockchain. I'd imagine my son, thinking about buying his new, first home, and what he would probably do, the combination of virtual and augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and blockchain would completely change this experience. So let's imagine he's sitting in a coffee shop thinking about buying his first home. Now he's gotten a job, he has some savings, and he wants to move out of the house. He can't wait. So he's probably already plugged into the system in Dubai. He has a digital identity. The system in Dubai already knows a bit of information that he consented to share with the government and relevant parties. And he sits there and puts in some parameters, how big of a house he wants, how many square feet, what kind of amenities he would like, what location, or where he is working, or where his colleagues or friends are. And down maybe even to the color preferences of the marble and the entrance. All this information would be available, and the artificial intelligence, the machine learning algorithms would go out and search through thousands of properties and bring him the top 3 matches that optimize the entire score and optimize his selection. And through his virtual reality glasses, he would be transported into these properties. He would not even have to visit them. And he can see the entire thing. And this is where the magic is going to happen. He would just click on buy. And that's it. All the information is going to be shared. He will get offers from different financial institutions. He will choose the best mortgage offer based on his credit score. Hopefully it's good. And then, he would issue smart checks. The registration with the land department will be done. Everything will be done in a second. And actually, as I think about this, we're going to have a problem. The transaction will be too fast for people. We might actually have to embed some delay, right? Put a 5-minute delay just to make people feel at ease. And this is the kind of transformation that we are expecting to have with blockchain. And you can, multiply this by 100. All of the experiences around the city. Buying property is just one. This is the kind of transformation that we are trying to build here out of Dubai. And obviously, this is the first bit of work when the efficiency is creating these new user experiences and implementing them. And for this to happen, you need a infrastructure that's able to support this and secure it. So we've put a blueprint for the technology. We're working with our partners to put a system where blockchain will be as a service. So people, government entities would not have to invest in the infrastructure, and this would be for them just like plugging into the electricity grid. And obviously all of this would not happen unless we have the entire legal framework that makes this possible. So, policies that are going to govern ownership and membership into different networks. How will different nodes within the network interact with each other? What are their roles, their responsibilities? What are the architectural standards? how to make this, how to make the transactions that are happening, like just as smart contracts, be admissible in courts and different litigations and forms. So this kind of a policy, and I think you'll hear from a panel talking about policies and the legal aspect of blockchain later on today. The second pillar that I'd like to briefly talk about is the creation or enablement of an ecosystem. In Dubai, we believe that by ourselves, we can only achieve so much. We need all of you to participate with us in achieving this vision. With creating an ecosystem that will allow the blockchain to thrive and to achieve its full potential. So we've been working with our colleagues in the Dubai Future Foundation through their accelerator, and we have actually showcased just a few weeks back in GITEX the first pilot coming out of this accelerator, where we are doing transforming the way that we reconcile and settle transactions within the government. We've also launched the Smart Dubai Global Blockchain Challenge, and some of the startups here have already participated, where we flew in over 21 different companies that pitched their ideas in front of potential partners and government officials. We've also launched our Smart Dubai Accelerator. So we've been busily trying to encourage different companies to come in and to make their home here in Dubai and work with the different parties within the government and the private sector. So the way we've actually designed our strategy and the way we execute is that we're opening up the market. So with all these 20 or 17 to 20 different use cases that are happening today, all of you here are encouraged to participate and pitch to actually participate and implement these use cases. And finally, when it comes to international leadership, we have been busy attending and participating in events just like this, spreading the word about Dubai's position when it comes to blockchain, and talking to you and learning from you and exchanging our experiences as well. And we've also been working with our partners, Consensus, in supporting this, their academy. There's definitely a talent gap. With what we're expecting that's going to happen in the next few months, there's going to be a shortage of talent in blockchain, whether it is in developers or project managers or architects, and they have been helping us in filling this gap. We've also been publishing white papers and research in this field and working with the local academic institutions to encourage the research and development in this area. And we have just actually 2 days ago graduated about 58 first batch of graduates from the Consensus Academy. These are people who have been gone through a full program, and now they're ready to be in the workplace to create the next generation solutions for Dubai and for the world. Finally, what I would like to leave you with is, this is a very nascent technology. This is like the early days of the internet. I think we will look back at this maybe in a few years and realize the opportunity that is there today. And I would really like to encourage you all to participate with us and help us build this and achieve this vision of making Dubai the global blockchain capital. Thank you.
Go to page 17, please. Go to page 17.
17?
Okay, stop here. See the middle picture? I was standing in that side, and this guy cropped my picture from here. So where's my picture?
We'll make sure to put it next time. All right. Happy to take any questions, or we can take it in silence.
Hi, my name is Arzu Güzel. I'm here on behalf of Hakan Agro. We are not a startup that wants to operate on blockchain, but we are just a company who wants to adopt this technology. Is Smart Dubai doing anything to support companies like us?
Sorry, you're from which company?
Hakan Agro Commodities.
So we have multiple ways that we can participate with you. Our accelerators and focus mainly on startups, but with companies maybe of your size, we can exchange information, do benchmarking, open up, about what we're doing in the space. And if you have, you want to implement it or you want to create new solutions, we're happy to talk.
Thanks, Mr. Wesam, for your great presentation. My name is Carl. I'm from the Hcash Foundation Australia. And I would like to ask you how to start. We're planning to start a blockchain center here.
A blockchain center?
Yeah. So we have done one in Melbourne very successfully, and then we have a big community there. We have done one in Shanghai, and in cooperation with the Australian government, with Austrade there, and we'd like to start up one here. We'd like to invest with the government into this and pave the way for this blockchain center in Dubai. So what is the best way to start?
I'll point down this here. So my colleague here, Zain, I could probably have a chat with you about how we could collaborate and do this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wesam. I believe you have, my name is Osama Al-Rahma. I believe you have touched on the lot of questions which everybody been having in his mind. But coming to the implementation side, when you asked to engage all the parties to be part of it, we are in a payment industry, and as you have mentioned, the focus is about transactions. And you must be knowing that the main challenges for especially cross-border transactions about compliance and about regulatory frameworks. So how we would engage the regulatory part to be part of this very advanced technology, which I believe it is happening today rather than the future.
I think just like any new technology, it will take some time sometimes to the legal framework to catch up. We have been working within Smart Dubai on a number of regulations that are, coming to support, transactions on blockchain, how to, make smart contracts legal. So this is something that we've been working on, and I'm sure also the regulatory bodies, whether it is central bank or Ministry of Finance, we have been seeing that they are also taking a closer look on blockchain, and there's also a lot of things that can be done outside of these issues. So our colleagues in Dubai Financial, the IFC, have actually working on creating sort of a sandbox, regulatory sandbox for companies to start and work on these ideas while the regulations catches up.
Hello. My name is Lara Abdel Malak from Al-Iqtisad wal-A'mal Group. My question is, in the past week, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed and the leadership in Dubai has announced new strategies and integrated it with the blockchain. For example, the IoT strategy and how that will lead to blockchain, and the AI strategy. So as the chief executive of Smart Dubai government, how do you see them all play together in the future?
Obviously, these strategies didn't come out just randomly, right? They're all been orchestrated. So blockchain strategy, AI strategy, IoT, these are all different pillars of the smart city. So, putting the sensors in the city, that will create the data. Data is what needed for machine learning algorithms, and for us to then to take these predictions and informations into transactions. This is where blockchain comes in and ties the whole picture. So all of these are actually working very much hand in hand to achieve these visions for Dubai.
Okay, very good morning.
And if you're a startup in all of three, that's, I think you got the wrong.
I'm sorry, sir.
Right.
We'll take the last two questions if it's all right. Last two questions.
Very good morning, Wesam Lootah. I think you did a very good job in actually explaining and get attention of the whole crowd here. So it's a very good presentation from you. So I'm very interested. Actually, my name is Azli. I'm from Malaysia, representative of the blockchain.my group. And I'm very interested in your 3 pillars of your Dubai blockchain strategy. So one part that I'm actually very interested is your international leadership. So what is your take on probably expanding to the Asian side? Where I come from, Malaysia, we have a lot of challenges in terms of legal proposition and also jurisdiction in all the policies and the governing. So what is your take on Asian? Maybe Dubai is going to be the global center for blockchain, but what is your take for the Asian region? Thank you.
When it comes to this actually pillar, I would be completely transparent. This is maybe the most difficult piece of blockchain. So the things government efficiency, ecosystem creation, these are things that we can have a lot of influence on. But when it comes to this piece about crossing borders, we're actually very open to collaboration with countries like Malaysia and any part of the world to actually take the blockchain scenarios across borders. And there are few of them that we are currently studying. So we'll be happy to talk to you about how we can collaborate in this space.
One last question
Okay.
here.
Okay. Hello, this is Ryan from Collinstar Capital, Australia. And for the past few years, we invest a lot of blockchain company. And the most thing as an investment institution, our concern is for the regulation. For last month, China make forbidden for all Bitcoin exchange. And now there's rumor said China will ban all Bitcoin mining facilities. So for us, we just want to know for the next few years, what's the regulator's attitude towards cryptocurrency and the blockchain industry? Thank you.
Well, I can't make specific comments about what regulation will come in the future, but I can assure you that Dubai has always been priding itself as the hub for emerging technologies. We didn't put a vision saying that Dubai will be fully powered by blockchain and at the same time make it not possible. So, Dubai has always been open. It's created many different legal structures within Dubai to encourage investment, to encourage the use of technology. And you can see this. We have now a minister of artificial intelligence. We have the very clear strategy when it comes to blockchain. So while I can't make predictions about what regulations to come, but the evidences are there that obviously will create the system, the regulations that will support the growth of this technology.